ففروا إلى الله إني لكم منه نذير مبين ولا تجعلوا مع الله إلها آخر إني لكم منه نذير مبين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We thank Almighty Allah again for another day in Ramadan. Inshallah, today our topic for discussion will be thieves of Ramadan. When we talk about thieves of Ramadan, these are those things that we involve ourselves in that are likely going to take away our time unknowingly. And actually, to start with, we must know that Ramadan is a month when we maximize our time. And when we talk about maximization of time, we are talking about using our time judiciously, using it in spiritual and in other aspects of our life that will earn us reward both here and in the hereafter. But along the line, as Muslims, if you are not conscious of it, these thieves are always very much around to take away our time. And that is why we need to call our attention to it. And the first one that I want to mention is television. Television, without doubt, every house today has television. And with digital life that we are living in, television now operates 24/7. And you can decide to watch anything that you want to watch on the TV. If you are a sports lover, there is sports channel that you move from one channel to the other watching different sports. And before you know it, you may end up using 4 or 5 hours watching one match to another, one type of sport to another. If you are lovers of movies and films, you can move from one station to the other. You have station for Indian films, station for African magic, station from so many other areas where you watch films and everything. And if you are not conscious and the discipline type, before you know it, your time is fast spent. Another one that I want to mention is the handset that we are holding. The handset today, everybody is having one handset or the other. And these phones that we are holding has a lot of things for us that we can gain from. At the same time, it has a tendency of wasting our time. In the sense that if you have the purpose of going to the phone for a purpose, you can be there and you have a lot of suggestions coming to you. Why can't you try this? Why can't you try that? If you are not the type that have scheduled what you want to do on the phone, and particularly what you want to involve yourself in. For example, in Ramadan, it is very helpful for us to know that, okay, this time around, this is the time I'm going to use to check my mail. This is the time I'm going to use to check my WhatsApp message and know the ones that I want to reply. But if you are the type that will just open the phone and start reading all messages, start reading all mails, and trying as much as possible to reply, you find out that in the next 3, 4, 5 hours, you are still on the phone. And these 3 hours that you are using on the phone, you will have ended up using it to do a lot of azkar, using it to read a lot of the Quran, using it to memorize the Quran, and doing a lot of things that will earn you more reward. Another thief in Ramadan that I want us to take care of is stinginess. In Ramadan, every one of us want to live well. We want to make sure that we eat the right thing, and when we want to start the Ramadan, we want to know that, okay, we eat the right thing, and when we want to break our fast, we break with the best in time, and without even thinking about others around. So, and this one make us to waste a lot of time in preparation of food. You take a lot of time to go shopping, buying this and that, and at the same time you waste a lot of time in the kitchen, especially for women, doing one thing or the other in order for you to prepare so many delicacies for breaking the fast. All this you find out will waste a lot of time. So in order for us to actually save our time, the best thing for us to try as much as possible, shop for at least 2-3 weeks if you can afford it, and try to keep it at home. Do so many things that you can do so that you use the least time in preparing food during Ramadan. And if you must prepare food for either sahur or iftar, make sure you prepare balanced diet without wasting much of your time. And with this, you find out that you save a lot of time to do some other things aside from wasting it in chopping and wasting it in moving around from one corner of the kitchen to the other. And even after finishing the preparation, setting the table, getting everything set at the same time waste a lot of our time during Ramadan. So we should try as much as possible to make sure that we are on the lookout and we maximize our time by using the least time in shopping. Make sure you buy and keep many things that you can keep, and those things that you can prepare before Ramadan, you prepare it and keep it in a safe place, so that when the time of Ramadan comes, you can only use the least time to prepare all those things, where you actually gain maximally from your meals.
والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين.
So without doubt, we have mentioned television, handset, and the time we use in preparing our delicacies for sahur and iftar. And when we look at this, we can all check on ourselves and know how far these are true. Aside from this, another thief of Ramadan is for us to waste our nights either in watching one program or the other. It may even be tagged Islamic program. When you are asked to try your luck on some things, maybe you gain television, you gain a bag of rice, you gain this. When you wake up in the night, rather than using the night to actually read the Quran, observe your Qiyamul Layl, the Tahajjud, and do a lot of other askar for Almighty Allah, you are busy trying the phone. Some of us are even in the habit of giving the phone to our children and making all of us to try at the same time, so that the more probability we have in actually getting through. And before you know it, the whole night will be used trying our luck on these various programs. Another way by which we waste our night is the midnight call. You find out that at this particular time, many airtime providers, they give us a lot of bonus in the middle of the night. You have free calls, you have free chats, you have free this and free that, from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock, which is actually a way, the very time that we can gain maximally during the time of Ramadan. Many of us, we think we are actually saving money while we are wasting our time on something that can be done later. So you keep on chatting, you keep on calling from one person to the other, and trying as much as possible to make sure that you maximize the bonus that you are given. So as Muslims, we must be on the lookout. The calls that are not necessary should not be made during Ramadan. And when you want to have any cause to make calls, you should make it in such a way that is snappy enough and it does not make you to actually waste your very tangible time in calling out to people at a time when Almighty Allah himself said he will come to the last heaven to actually listen to the dictates, to whatever we want to ask him to give us, and is ready to give us. So we must try as much as possible to find out that we do the right thing at the right time. Make sure that the middle of the night is not used for calling. We try as much as possible to do what is right. Another thing that wastes our time during Ramadan is for us to want to for us to be stingy, because you find out you want to have everything to yourself. So you decide to go here and there looking for what to make available for yourself without even thinking of the other person that is next to you. This is another way, because the time that you will have used sitting down doing the spiritual aspect, doing the askar, reading the Quran, observing nawafil, you are jumping from one market to the other, from one place to the other, trying to earn extra money in Ramadan. And by the time it's time for you to actually do these things, you are tired and you don't even have any time to spend again for all these things. So what is actually required in Ramadan is that we should try as much as possible to make sure that we don't waste much time in doing so many things that are worldly. And that is why in many Islamic countries where they understand Islam, Ramadan is a time when you ask for your leave. Ramadan is a time even when you go to work, you are given less work to do, so that you retain more strength for you to be able to deliver spiritually when you get home. So, and another thing that I want to talk about on the thieves of Ramadan is that many of us, we waste our time on the social media. The social media, in the sense that aside from the fact that we have the phone, we open our phone to check our mails, to check our messages. Many of us, if we breathe, we want to show our presence on the social media. So we have WhatsApp platform, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have all this, name it. And every time we are online to show our presence. So, and whenever anything is happening in the world, we always want the whole world to know that we are actually informed and we are there. Many of us, even our phones, have turned to our television. We have various films that are there, season films that we watch from the early hour to the late in the night, all because we want to get ourselves busy. And the last one I want to mention is that many of us use our time in playing away games. Some are even playing Ludo, some playing draft, some of us playing chess, some of us playing so many other games in order for us to while away the time during Ramadan. But we must know that Ramadan is a month that we should look forward to the reward of Allah. It's not a time to waste our time away. It's a time for us to gain maximally. And I pray Almighty Allah will make it easy for us to do the best during Ramadan and to earn maximally from it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That is for Deen al-Islam, religion with Allah since time began. That is for dhikr, remembering Allah, and Ra is for the month of Ramadan. Oh, Ramadan. That is for zakah, to cure our greed, when we give our money to those in need. Sa is for salamun alaykum, peace be with you, wa alaykum